And welcome into Smooth Operators, everybody. I am your host, Greg Splangberg. Alongside me is, of course, my other co-hosts, Noah Phillips and Ben McClurkin. Yes, I'm wearing an Auburn football helmet. My brother just graduated, and I will now take it off. But now we are back to our regularly scheduled Smooth Operators programming, and today was the Christmas of racing, as Noah Phillips called it last week, even though the Coca-Cola 600 was delayed until tomorrow in the glorious state of North Carolina at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. But we are back once again to talk Formula One. How are you guys doing today?
Man, I'm great. Life is good.
Life is good. Noah reporting from Triple H, the Horton Hardgrave Hall. How you doing, brother?
I'm also doing good, Griggs. As you can see, I finally was able to charge my headphones for one of these podcasts, and my parents are in town, so I'm just having a absolute barrel of fun over
Your
here
parents are in
recording.
town and you're at Triple H. What a great day that is. But now, boys, it's time we talk about the main event of today, and that was, of course, the Monaco Grand Prix. So the Monaco Grand Prix happened today. And of course, as it has been for the past couple of weeks, it was Max Verstappen winning the race, also taking pole with one of the greatest qualifying sessions these eyes have ever laid
Goodness.
eyes on, winning qualifying over Fernando Alonso by barely over point 0.1 seconds. So unbelievable. Less than a second. Max Verstappen wins over Fernando Alonso over gaining over 2/10 in the last sector of Monaco, which is one of the shortest sectors in all of Formula One. And
Yeah.
he goes on to win the Grand Prix with a time of 1:48.51, beating Fernando Alonso in a track that's very close together and everyone close together by 27.9 seconds. One of the most dominating Monaco Grand Prix I have ever seen from a driver. Let's hear what we got thoughts from today. As long as one of my favorite drivers that I always mention, who always never does well when I mention him, it is uh, Esteban Ocon for Alpine getting third place. So none
Don't
of
do
us
this
mentioned
to
him on the
him.
last.
Don't do
None
this
of
to
We
us
can
on.
him.
say that the curse
Oh,
is
no, no,
broken.
no, 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 no.
We
None
can
of us
say it.
mentioned him on
We
the
can
last
say it. He's
show,
got a
which is
podium.
why he finished third and probably the most prestigious race in all of Formula One. So,
Yeah. The
what do we
Alpine
think today about this race?
the Alpine curse is broken, at least from our show's
The the
standpoint.
Alpine curse is broken.
I've been brewing on that all day. Also, he just drove flawlessly. Really proud of Esteban for keeping it together when the rain came down. And I mean, just an overall thriller of a race, really. Like we had so much action and a lot of surprises. Even Max Verstappen himself made a rare mistake, nearly going off at the Rascas and hitting the wall. Crazy events there. Let's see what else. I mean, Fernando put the pressure on for a little bit, but wound up being pulled way behind by Verstappen's overall pace. A lot of good battles. I was very surprised. I thought it would be a processional race. There was quite a bit of passing and quite a few incidents. What about you, Noah?
And to think the F1 governing body was about to take this track off of the F1 calendar a year
Yeah,
or two ago. And to think they almost did that. That was a fantastic race today. Um,
really.
Going to go ahead and mention the top two before Griggs gets a chance to speak about it.
I already mentioned the top two. What are you talking
The
about?
next two, the next
Alonso
two,
not gone.
The
the
next,
next two, McLaren or not? Gee, come on, no, you're in Triple H. You're in a place of absolute
A
studery.
business, academics, yes.
Hamilton and George Russell coming in fourth and fifth, locking down that fourth and fifth position for
hmm
the light green team that y'all don't want to accept the fact that is light green.
The light green. You talking about Mercedes again? Come
Yes,
on, Noah.
Mercedes, that is light green. I don't care what y'all say.
I'm
it's
tired of this
those boys, and
blasphemy.
their main color is black. So
In the F1 thing, they show up as light green. Go
In
look
okay.
on
the
the app right
F1
now.
thing.
Well,
The F1
F1
app. The F1 app. Go ahead and look right now.
The F1 app is run by Liberty Media, which is in and of itself a media corporation. So,
What are we?
as unbiased journalists here at Smooth Operators, we choose not to listen to the mainstream thoughts, but propose alternative, crazy conspiracy theories like Daniel Ricciardo to Alpha Tauri.
Man, we've been promoting conspiracy theories forever. That's like one of the foundations of this show. We go crazy. We say Michael Schumacher has already passed on. We do all the things.
Don't remind people of that.
It's one of our foundations of our
No,
show. We submit that to the IBS Awards.
That's why y'all won the award. It was a pity trophy. The only reason I wasn't mentioned is because I wasn't on that lacrosse broadcast. But congrats to you two for winning broadcasting awards, left, right, and center.
Well,
Speaking of
mostly center because we don't win much.
Yeah, speaking of which, left, right, and center, Kevin Magnussen was all over the place. Let's talk about. I think personally he should have been handed a penalty, given how strict the stewards were about other people such as George Russell. Um, they handed him a 5-second penalty and then another 5-second penalty for serving it wrong, and it cost him quite a bit of mental effort, not really position, because they still wound up 4th and 5. But Kevin Magnussen was really all over the place. I know it's not that important to the overall scheme of things because they weren't racing for points positions, but Stroll trying to get past him was like on the straight was like trying to get past, oh shoot, I don't know, a brick wall that's blocking the entire road. I've never seen a man cover so much road on the straight and not get in trouble. I mean,
He was doing everything, like you're saying. Like he was the first one to go to full wets. He does it again. He gets a DNF, but he still finishes where Lance Stroll was in last with a no contest. But I mean, he just struggled from the start. Like he got into trouble early with contact. First driver on the full wets. I think he pits on lap 1 due to a wing damage that he received. But just a bad day overall for Haas, with Nico Hulkenberg scoring 17th and Kevin Magnussen scoring 19th in a race. I mean, they both didn't qualify well, which is this course more than any qualifying is more important than any other track in the Formula One calendar. So
I will say they were caught out early by that
yeah,
Lando.
Ben, there's someone in the window behind you. That's kind of funny. Yeah, they just went away. Is that your brother?
What happens when you spend time with family, everybody?
Back in Dothan, Alabama.
No, I'm up at Lake Martin celebrating my dad. It's his birthday in 2 days, so
Happy birthday to Father McClurkin from
birthday to my dad.
SMOP family.
Birthday weekend. Birthday week.
And that of course is my little brother hanging out in the background.
I love that how he knows to turn away once we say his name, because you turn immediately and he goes away like that.
Yeah, and speaking of hanging out in the background, let's talk a little bit about Carlos Sainz, just how his race went. Obviously he was definitely something that we took notice of at the beginning. At least I did. I thought he was on for a great race. Yeah, so
he qualified fifth.
He qualified. Yeah, qualified fifth.
A little bit higher.
No, he was shown a lot in the TV broadcast today. Like he was all over the place. Whether they were double stacking at Ferrari when they did their final pit stop, where Leclerc went first and Sainz second, that kind of messed him up in the race. And then he was on the radio a lot with problems today. Drops 3 places in Monaco, off of most likely all pit stops, along with some track problems as well. But not a good race for the Scuderia driver in 8th. Charles Leclerc holds position in 6th after receiving a 3-grid penalty. After I saw the penalty he got for Lando Norris in the tunnel, which it was a penalty. Like he legit moved in front of. Yes, it was. I don't want to hear that.
No.
Ferrari fan Noah.
No.
He
moved. At least he got points this year.
He was on a
he got
points last year. He got points last year.
He did.
Yes, he did.
He
finished like 5th or 4th. He finished.
Oh, it didn't
last
feel
year,
that way last year. After
it didn't feel that way.
Feel that way.
I'm just glad there's
we
no
still had
the
hope
rain
at that point. We still had hope.
I'm glad the
Leclerc's qualifying versus his finishing position disparity has grown so much more.
No, the fact that Crofty jinxed this race, where he's like, there has never been a Formula One, or it's been like 50 years since a Formula One race has had back-to-back races with everyone finishing, and the races never happened in Monaco. And then all of a sudden, there goes Stroll, there goes Kevin Magnussen. So that messed up
Yeah.
the prediction. So back-to-back races could have had with everyone finishing, but nonetheless, we had 18 finishers. The rest of the top three who finished were Hamilton in fourth, Russell fifth, Leclerc sixth, Gasly in seventh, Sainz in eighth, Norris in ninth, and Piastri in 10th. So Griggs' prediction of a McLaren driver finishing the top seven was this close. We were only two spots away. But double points for McLaren, that's definitely something that we can mention. One of three teams who had double points finishers. That's being Red Bull only two teams finishing with double points. It was McLaren, and Mercedes, and Ferrari with Hamilton and Russell 4 and 5, Leclerc and Sainz 6 and 8 for Ferrari, and in 9th and 10th, Norris and Piastri. So three teams finishing in the top 10 with double points. But for the McLaren boys, that's got to be a little, even though it is only 3 points, that's got to be a sign of improvement over there from the English team.
Yeah, the blokes at Brackley are proud, as they would say over there in the UK.
They have to have the best campus, like with that reflecting pool and everything. It has to be the nicest looking campus, I think.
They almost sold it. I'm so glad they didn't. And I got to say, that livery from McLaren was something else. I love the tribute to the Marlboro and the black McLaren F1 GTR, which is not an F1 car, by the way. It's a sports car. But that tribute there was spectacular. I love Chevron on racing cars. Reminds me of the Indy 500 and classic races of F1, Ayrton Senna, and
that was just a beautiful car today.
Stunning. And guess what? It's coming back, and we're going to see it in the sunshine of Catalonia next week at Spain. It's going to be fantastic. I love that.
You know a car looks good when Ben gets on Twitter and quote tweets it. So follow at @junior_McClurkin for all the good F1 tweets. Because when he tweets, ladies and gentlemen, you know it's a good time. You know it's a good tweet.
That was an excellent shout out, Greggs. Thank you very much.
But I think for the first 53 laps, Monaco was kind of boring, like how it normally is today. But then once 54 hit and everyone was switching on to wets, everyone has to decide where they're going to change tires. Fernando Alonso switches to the medium tires. Then one lap later, he switches to inters. It was just a madness today. It made one of the most.
I think Ben was going to say that I think his prediction was correct about seeing green cars on the Mercedes.
Oh no! Don't do that. I'm still here. Don't do that.
You went away for a few seconds. What do you want me to do?
Unfortunately, Ben's prediction of Logan Sargent winning pole was not correct. So
I said watch McLaren. That was correct. I said watch McLaren. That was correct.
Hey, I was the one who was on McLaren this week.
Yeah, you were. You were too.
Hey, technically, double points equals 7th or above. That technically equals that.
I got 2/3 of the podium. I got 2/3 of the podium, and I can be proud of that.
I picked the winner,
as Meatloaf used to say. Let's see. What else did I predict? I predicted rain, and we saw rain. So
we did see rain, yes, because we saw the forecast said rain all weekend. So congratulations on predicting something pretty simple.
It was not forecast all week.
Yes, it was.
We brought it up on the podcast.
Come on.
I read the weather report from my phone.
I didn't. I
read it to you. You were on the podcast.
I love how my fact or fiction thing has come true in this podcast. My fact or fiction saying thing, because I am fact or fiction, and it's true.
But yeah, well,
fact or fiction.
You know who's fact? You want to know a fact? I'm stomping you in F1 Fantasy.
You want to know another
also
fact?
I've had one of my season predictions come true already, Benward. That is a fact. All 20 racers finished the Miami Grand Prix. Fact or fiction?
Preseason, I picked the top 3 best drivers, and my 4th best driver, which would have consistently scored points, was Yuki Tsunoda. And he struggled off the bat, but he's really improved. So I dropped him and made a mistake. I'll admit that, but I'm still winning in our fantasy league.
Fact or
even
fiction?
with
Want the cookie?
Fact or fiction? Did Nick DeVries almost score points this week?
Yes, he did.
He was close,
I
did
said
not get a cigar.
It was
We did
It was
not.
this close.
We argued about this last week if we would buy or sell his contract. Does this add anything to his contract weakness now, boys?
yes, because he still has not received points yet in F1. He's one of 2 drivers who has not received points yet. I think he's still on the hot seat.
Absolutely. Him and Sargent now are having a largely pointless season. And, I mean, incompetent cars, yes, but they could at least compete with each other for a point.
Ben, are you Team Hype Train Hopium?
No.
Who are you then?
Objective L Plan.
I think I might be ahead of you now.
Wait, no, I am Hype Train Hopium. What do you mean?
Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. All of a sudden, you decided to change your team name. Well, yes, Team Hype Train Hopium is in 1st place. Then it goes Blake Young. Then my guy, Quez Fam. He's from here in Charlotte. Shout out, Chris. Then it's me. And then Noah.
No. Hype Train Hopium. Yes.
Yes, then Noah. You're Dinosaur by Hank Williams, correct?
Yes, I am. But before you say what place I'm in, I would like to preface this by saying I have the worst fantasy luck no matter what sport it is. I've been playing fantasy football for the past 3 years, and every single year my running back has got hurt or arrested. So
Well, Ben's talking
it does not
about
count.
Logan Sargent, but then Logan Sargent finishes with 0 points every week.
Yeah, I know. He hasn't gotten me a single point yet. But I am in P1, so okay.
I forgot the lineup didn't save. I changed Nick DeFries out of my lineup from Imola, and he is still there. So that is very disappointing for me.
Well, he almost
I
got
did
points. You were almost getting points.
I was almost, because Max Verstappen at the double driver is the cheat code of the season.
Still,
Noah,
I'm P1 by over 200 points, so I feel pretty secure.
yeah, but we'll see what happens the rest of the year. Any other closing thoughts we have on Monaco? I think this is one of the best Monaco Grand Prix we've had in quite some time, just because the added factor of the rain going and there was no red flags or stoppages in the race.
I think it was one of the best. One of the most beautiful, too. I think the TV broadcast has really improved since we had a flash cut of Lance Stroll from a couple of years ago.
And was it just me, or was there actually ads in Monaco for the first time besides Rolex? Because I've noticed ads along the track. Like you could see the Heineken 0.0 when you're going through the tunnel. They had the digital graphics when you're going through the tunnel. If you could see like the team radio on the side when you're going through that tunnel.
The digital graphics were there last year, but I don't recall there being as much sponsorship. I remember there being mostly red and white barriers in the colors of Monaco's flag.
Exactly, because I saw you saw the Salesforce coming out of turn 2. That's the one I noticed the most.
All the Pirelli in the final 2 corners. It was everywhere.
That shot, because I don't remember seeing that much of Monaco last year. Mainly because I don't remember much of Monaco because it was raining the whole time. But I just was surprised to see that much advertising because I thought Monaco's whole thing was we don't advertise that much.
Yeah, well, they did. They sold out, and honestly, if that keeps them on the calendar, I'll be okay with it.
Get your bag.
Get the bag.
Get your money. Get your money.
Get your money. Yes, that's going to do it for our talk on the Monaco Grand Prix. And now,
hang on.
Double. Whoa, no, it's got something else.
Before you talk about Spain, I got to ask you a question. Did y'all see Tony Khan commit a pass through the grass in the Indy 500?
Tony Khan, as in the owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars and Fulham Football Club?
No, not that Tony Khan. I thought you were about to say AEW Wrestling, which sold the pay-per-view right now.
He also owns AEW Wrestling.
He does.
It's Tony Kane, K-A-N-A-N, the IndyCar.
Yes.
No, I did not. So was I talking about the right person then?
No, Tony Khan's father owns the Jaguars. Tony Khan just owns AEW Wrestling.
Well, Tony Khan also Tony Khan doesn't own AEW. Or does he own? I thought he was like the chief executive officer.
No, he owns it. He owns it. Anyway, Ben, did you see this fantastic pass?
Unfortunately, I did not. You
want to know why you didn't? Because the coverage was terrible. Holy moly! There were so many lead passes on NBC today. It was almost exactly like NASCAR on Fox. Because of the fact the Charlotte 600 was not today, the TV production behind Motorsports is killing
Oh,
me,
here
man.
comes Neil with his NASCAR
The
coverage.
TV production behind Motorsports, man, is killing me. Hats off to the Monaco people today. They did a fantastic job. I'm so proud of them.
They did. They did a good job.
They really
But-
did. And honestly, most of it comes down to luck because you never know when somebody's going to go for it. You know, you can have a really great broadcast where every single pass is captured, but most of the time you don't see it until after the fact when they post the highlights. And that's just because you're watching one guy and then all of a sudden, oh my goodness, another dude's just going for it, you know?
Yeah.
And
All right.
I mean, you got to give them a little bit of grace there. You know, it's really hard to accurately broadcast the Indy 500 because the cars are moving so fast around there. Average speeds at over 218 miles an hour.
Yeah.
So,
We
yeah,
also had a new winner
anyway,
today.
on to Spain.
Huh?
On to Spain.
No, not on to Spain. I got one more question.
Oh,
If
okay.
you guys won the Indy 500, which kind of milk would you have to dump on yourself?
Dude, I would be drinking whipping cream. I want the milk
Mm.
that there is.
You want the good milk pour when you're pouring it. You just want
Oh,
the.
yeah. I want
Mm.
heavy cream. I want it thick.
But you're gonna have to drink it as well, though. You have to have a good
Oh, yeah.
drinking
No.
milk, but it's also got to look good when you pour it on yourself.
I would drink it.
You drink the whipping cream?
Yeah.
Why
Nice.
don't you just
All
say
right,
you
no.
want Cool Whip that you've left out in the sun for a couple hours? Why don't you just say that, Ben? Why don't you
I was
just
gonna
say
vote
that?
for- I was gonna
No,
go for
that's
cream cheese,
disgusting.
but you know.
Uh,
Oh,
we're going
I'm
that round.
frozen.
see, I really
We're
only
gonna
drink
say I want
chocolate
Cool
milk,
Whip.
but that would look terrible. So I'm gonna go with 2%
I'd probably go with whole, actually.
whole. So
Maybe,
many
I don't
calories
know.
in that, brother.
I want it. Well, you're pouring it on yourself. You're taking like 2 sips, but because that looked the best. Because like I like skim milk, but that would look bad on the pour. You know what I'm saying? You have to get that good half and half
All
type
right.
thing. You know what I'm talking about?
Cool.
You know,
Cool,
we
cool.
we know we'll know it. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I
You
why are we
gotta find that
talking?
good-
Why are we talking
Yeah.
about milk?
We're talking about the Indy 500 for a second.
Okay, I'm kidding.
We're talking about we have to find that good like like that good half and half where it looks good on when you're drinking it and the good on the pour.
This is
but
a
nonetheless-
this is a great no context.
This is great great journalism, great podcasting right here. But nonetheless, let's go ahead and get to the main topic as well. It is Spain 2023. This is happening this Sunday at 8 a.m. Central Standard Time, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time if you're in God's time zone, aka the Eastern time zone. It is Spain 2023 at the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalonia, with the track is at 4.657 kilometers a lap with 14 turns, 2 DRS zones, 66 laps, 307.236 kilometers for the entire race. First Grand Prix held here was in 1991. And of course, there's no lap record because, if you don't remember from our show earlier in the year, they have changed the circuit of the Barcelona, Catalonia, where they have changed that. I believe it was turn, what was it?
13.
Turn 13 to 14, where it is now a straight turn, easier overtaking. This makes this track just a little bit better. So, boys, let's talk about this track. They've changed it a little bit. There's going to be a new lap record held here now because of the change in the track layout. But what can you see here from this track that in the past has been a little bit boring, but now there's more chances for an overtaking from that turn 13 and 14?
Well, what I will say is technically it does have a lap record. It's just set before they put the chicane there.
Well, that's true, but still.
Though F1 does not count that as a lap record because the track has changed and then changed back.
Well, that's also
yeah,
when 7 and 8 were a lot smoother, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
I was about to say.
7 and 8 used to be a really good corner to dive in and then get it around 9 and 10, which is turned into a sweeping bend, and it always has been one of my favorite spots to watch. Not for the overtaking necessarily, but to watch the cars really put load on their tires in medium and high speed corners. We've been hyping this race up for some time now, so I really hope we see that come to fruition.
I want it. Go ahead.
There's been a lot of talk about it from us.
Yeah, just because this track has just been very hot and cold these past couple years. It's just I want to see a good Barcelona again. I want to see a good Spain because we can't have all these European like actual racetracks go away. We've already lost Paul Ricard, even though on this podcast we don't particularly like Paul Ricard.
No, the
I
French
mean, we
like us.
love
No, the French like us. We love Paul Ricard.
We love France. I want to see F1 go back
hey,
to.
we love Alpine. I've always loved Alpine. You guys don't want me to say I love Alpine.
I want F1 to go back to Charade, the
Mm.
the old road course. Have y'all seen those videos? It's insane. There's rocks lining the track. Anyways,
I want to see. Hey, we're big Alpine fans in the show, even though hashtag we love France. Now France is our #2 most listened to country. Shout out France.
thank you, France.
Thank you, France. But
Miss,
listen to an English podcast like us right now, or an American, but in the English language. But we love Alpine. You guys have just wanted me to stop saying I love Alpine because it helps them perform better. So
who
the
doesn't?
French fans should love me because when I talk less about Alpine, they win more.
Well,
Or
now
they get better
they're going to
position.
have 2 DNFs this weekend, Griggs.
If they get 2 DNFs this weekend, I will eat a whole baguette on Instagram Live. You have my words. That is a Griggs guarantee.
All
The
right,
GG. If
let's see that.
if the Alpines have 2 DNFs at the Circuit de Barcelona Catalonia next weekend, I will eat a full baguette live on the show while we're talking next
In
week.
one
Griggs
bite.
guarantee.
In one bite. No, he's not going to do it in one bite.
My brother in Christ, one bite of a
That's
giant fridge baguette.
too
Hey,
much, but you know what? I'll butter the baguette for you.
All right, but the thing is with this track, like we've added a little bit to it, but again, we want to see these like actual racetracks stay in Formula One because we don't want to see it all become street circuits. That's where
Yeah.
we get we just get the fast racing in the street circuits. We don't get a lot of the good because a lot of these street circuits are just made for speed and for entertainment. It's not really for that overtaking that we want to see in Formula One.
Baku or Saudi Arabia come to mind when you mentioned those. Yes. And
Baku, I think so. Baku, I think, is the best street circuit in that sense. If correct me if I'm wrong in that terms, that street sense, because we've seen passing on that track a little bit more. It's not
But
like a Monaco type of thing, but like
all the passing in Baku is in the straight. I like Monaco because people actually have to go for it, in a corner and not rely on their DRS. I think that personally makes the racing better. And as we saw today, there was even chaos before the rain came out because you're actually racing into each turn. And I would like to see a lot more of that in racing. And that's what those large purpose-built circuits are for. It's for corner-to-corner racing, not passing in the straights. And that's what I enjoy the most. I don't care if there's a lot of passes. I care if the passes are good.
Sure.
Very true. Noah, what are your thoughts? It looks like you've been brewing on something over there.
I have been
Yeah,
unable
thinking.
to keep up with this conversation. We had a baguette.
You have a lot of things for no context.
I have a lot. Sometimes it's hard. I'm gonna have to do multiple photos this week or whenever
Yeah.
this gets posted. Probably
like a
tomorrow.
collage, like 4 different things.
Collage of no context rigs.
Follow our SMOP podcast Twitter if you want to see that, along with Noah's account at Noah_Phillips64. I'm getting all the plugs in today.
You are, man.
Oh yeah, you're doing great. You're doing great.
Follow me also at the GriggsB if you feel so inclined on Twitter.
No spaces, no caps.
No spaces, no caps. The Griggsby,
No
but
cap.
no cap. That is correct.
I'll tell you one thing I do want to see though. The Chicago Street Circuit. They're running for NASCAR.
The
If y'all-
Detroit Street Circuit for me.
the Chicago. Ben, you're saying no, but if you looked at the track layout,
No.
you need to go look at it because it could be interesting. I watched the iRacing race they did, and it's not that bad.
Yeah, I did see some clips from that iRacing, and it genuinely looked fun. I just don't know in the real world how that's going to translate.
I'd rather go there than Miami. And
Okay.
iRacing's pretty close.
Ooh.
iRacing's pretty close.
Hold on. I'm looking at the Chicago's layout right now. Hold on. We're getting all mixed up right now.
Is there enough
Oh.
width anywhere for
Ooh,
cars to?
this is an interesting track Noah's talking about. It's basically just all like straight corners, and then there's like a loop going down towards I believe that is turn 5, I think. like the one that goes like up like this. No, am I correct?
Yes.
Or goes like that,
Horseshoe
and
kind
then
They race
yes, and then
around
it goes to like
whatever their Central Park is.
yeah, and then they go like another one that's like hold on, NASCAR's trying to get me to subscribe to their account. Absolutely
So,
not.
son, we got video. You can like hold your phone up to the camera now.
I know. Hold on. Let me get this right because I have it on the lock. Yes. So here it is. So this is what it kind of looks like. So right here's the line. Here's turn. No, that's turn 12. Here's turn 1. It goes up right there, right around to turn 3, 4, 5,
of
6,
not look right.
7, 8, 9, 10, right there, 11, 12. So basically just a lot of things. So it looks like right here it's like the bullet train from Disney World right there in the Magic Kingdom. Right here looks like a block you see from a kid's like block game, like those wood blocks. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
You
Yes,
Well,
we
lost
basically
do.
just
me.
kind of looks like
Yes.
that.
Yes, Griggs.
You lost me.
I know.
It looks like there's no interesting corners on that track.
Are they
They're
going over
all
an
90-degree turn.
an interstate right here, Noah?
Yes.
They are?
Or is that the
no, that's just
river?
the park. That's just the park.
So what's this
Oh.
whole
That's like the entrance
giant
to the park.
gray line thing? That
I-
whole giant. I've been to Chicago before multiple times. That does not look like an entrance to a park where it's like that.
That's going under the interstate.
It's off of South Michigan Avenue and it's right near the plaza. I don't think it's near the Bean, but it's near like it's kind of near the lake, I think. It's like between the lake and the city.
As you can see behind me, we've got some family members joining in. Wave, hey everybody. Hey
Hi,
everybody.
Ben's family members.
Yep. You know
Oh,
what? It's
so-
okay to have one episode per show where there's a little bit of chaos.
We're always having chaos here on Smooth
Yeah,
Operators.
this one's been especially chaotic. Griggs, is that a Stanley Cup?
Yes. I love it. My aunt and uncle got me this for Christmas. Agreed.
Ooh, who do y'all have winning the Stanley Cup?
Oh, the Panthers.
You're from
Oh, the
Carolina.
Panthers.
You want
Matt-
the Canes?
I hate the Canes. Matthew Tkachuk, baby, is going to win the cup, especially with all the rest that Florida's had compared to Dallas and Vegas, who's going to win. Even though Dallas still has a chance to win because it's
Has a
now
shot.
3-2.
Let's
So
see-
imagine
let's see-
two series in the NBA and in the NHL where two teams were up 3-0 and that both teams could come back. So we could see that. But yeah, I think
If
Florida's going to
those-
win.
Both times, those have only happened 5 other times, which is weird.
And only one time said it's never happened in the NBA. It's only happened 3 times in the NHL.
Yeah.
It's
So
crazy.
honestly, we've been blessed with a good month in sports. So speaking of which,
the Birmingham
let's test-
Legion beat Charlotte FC.
I don't want to hear that.
Thank you, Ethan.
I don't want to hear
Thank
it.
you, Ethan, for telling me that, so I can bring it up with this podcast.
Oh, did he say that in the? Did he say that in the YouTube comments?
No, he called me a little while ago. I told him I was about to do the podcast. Said, "Oh, you need to bring this up to make Griggs mad." I was like, "I got you."
well,
Listen, man, I can't speak bad. Okay, that's my home club. That's my home club. That's the club I work for. I don't want to hear any Charlotte SC slander because we got a red card because one of our players is terrible.
Charlotte FC has been handed an L by a semi-pro team.
Yeah, because one of our players is terrible, and any team can beat a team down 10 men, down a man. That's a fact. Ben used to play soccer. Fact or fiction? It's easier to beat a team with 10 men than 11 men.
We've won with a man down and scored shorthanded. No, doesn't. That's not fact.
At the same, they also do not have
Oh,
that.
he's true.
They also do not have that dog in them like the New England Revolution, Griggs.
We do not. That's a fact.
That's a
Not
fact.
like
No team has it like the New England Revolution. We've already established this.
Okay, yeah.
No, man, we're getting way off the bat. All right, now let's get to our predictions for the Spanish Grand Prix. Let's start out with qualifying. We'll go ahead and start with Mr. Ben McClurkin. What is your prediction? Who will go on pole at the the Circuit de Barcelona Catalonia?
Let's just call it the Spanish Grand Prix.
The Spanish Grand Prix.
I'm at risk of sounding predictable here, but I really do think that Verstappen is going to get the pole position. Perez is at a slight disadvantage on purpose-built circuits, and the Red Bull car itself is at a huge advantage. So Verstappen starting P1.
Mr. Phillips.
I mean, it's probably going to be Verstappen starting off the race in P1. But man, I want to have fun with this.
Okay.
So, the last person who got pole position in the race in 2022 was Charles Leclerc.
No.
So, I'm going to find a way to put Charles Leclerc in pole. He did not end up winning or finishing on the podium of that race, but pole position goes to Charles Leclerc, and you got to hope for it, Ben. You got to speak it into existence.
Yeah.
Nope.
I'm gonna go. You know what? I'm gonna go Sergio Perez. We've got a couple races off without Checo winning pole position. He had a pretty bad qualifying this week, crashing in Q1, finishing outside the points, finishing I believe 17th. I think it's gonna be Sergio Perez because he knows like if Max wins this race and he finishes below second or third, it's most likely about to get out of hand in that race. And if he wants to stay in the fight for this championship, he's gonna have to win this. He's gonna have to win pole this weekend because think about it. Max is now up 39 points in the drivers' standings, and even though Red Bull has a comfortable lead right now at 249 points, at up above Aston Martin of Alonso and Lance Stroll. They are up. Hold on, math time. They're up 129 points on Aston Martin. So it's Red Bull's getting a commanding lead early, so they could be looking at back-to-back drivers' championships by the time before we reach Austin. So, yeah, I think Perez needs to get pole this weekend to even have a chance to just get even the sliced advantage over Max Verstappen to just stay in this championship race.
One thing I will say to that, I'm pretty sure the race is over for first in the drivers. Verstappen now has logged more wins than four-time champion Sebastian Vettel with Red Bull in, less competitive seasons. In fewer competitive seasons, I'll say that. Not less competitive.
Red Bull's just having such a great year.
Yeah, in fewer competitive seasons, Max Verstappen, even Sebastian Vettel winning in 2011, 2012, 2013, and 2014, back to back to back to back. 4 times in a row. Championships in a row.
Think about Max.
Won every race, and Max has still surpassed that number of wins, maybe due to longer time in the team, but also due to doing more with fewer seasons and having more races. But it's still impressive nonetheless.
Think about today. Max is like 25, 26?
Yeah.
And he's already passed Vettel for the most wins in Red Bull season. Like it goes Max at 38, then Vettel at 37, and then I think what was it, Daniel Kvyat at 8?
Kvyat?
Kvyat?
I thought it was Weber.
I think it was Mark Webber, right?
Yeah. I think it's Weber.
And then Ricciardo
Weber,
probably.
Yeah.
Who?
Coulthard. Daniel Coulthard.
I thought Daniel Ricciardo's won more than that.
Oh yeah. It goes. Okay, so it goes Verstappen. My guess is it goes Verstappen, Weber.
No, Verstappen, Vettel.
No. Verstappen, Vettel, Weber, Ricciardo, Coulthard, Kvyat.
And then Perez. I think Perez has got to get up there eventually.
You know what? I think Perez jumped Kvyat because
whatever. We don't know.
Doesn't matter.
Hey,
Doesn't matter.
I can fact check this.
Now.
I can fact check this.
Fact checker.
Fact check me, Noah.
Hang on. Let me pull up this on the Google machine. Agree to that without reading it.
Greg's winning the race.
All right, so Max Verstappen with 39, Sebastian Vettel with 38, Mark Webber, Daniel Ricciardo, Sergio Perez.
Strong.
He did have to remind you, though, of Daniel Ricciardo, so.
Yes, I did forget Daniel Ricciardo existed.
Put an asterisk next to it. Put an asterisk next to the championship.
You forget Daniel Ricciardo exists and he's still at Red Bull?
Yeah, I totally forgot that he won as many races as Sergio Perez. So
they're tied now? That's crazy. Think about it.
No, they're not tied. Perez has passed him.
Oh. That's pretty quick
but
then by
it
Perez
used to
then.
be as many. I mean, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
also Ricardo was in less excellent machinery. He was never a teammate to Sebastian Vettel. Mark Webber was, and that's what helped him out.
True. All right. Time for our potentially just okay prediction. I don't know what we're gonna call. We gotta figure it out. Just normal prediction. Ben, what is your potentially like okay prediction of the race?
My okay prediction of the race. Um, I expect to see 19 cars in the end. 19 cars to finish.
Ooh, you're copying me.
It's lame, I know, but that's what I got.
Hey, the normal predictions are supposed to be kind of lame. All
Yeah,
right, Noah,
they are.
what you got?
Give me another McLaren two-step. I think they'll get another 2 points this week.
Ooh.
Well, I actually know what. No, I'm going to say one. Since this is common, I'm going to do
Okay.
one McLaren driver will be in the points this week. Upwards of 9. I don't think they'll get the 10 spot.
Worth of 9 drivers in the points. Okay.
Ooh, 9 separate teams in the points.
No.
Oh, okay.
Um.
Y'all keep saying I want Sargent to get first place, so
All right.
I thought
All
I'd
right.
throw in my own wild prediction of yours.
All right. Here's mine. I think for the first time this year, Fernando Alonso finishes outside the top 5. He's only the lowest he's finished this year is P4. I think he'll be below P5 for this race. Something about it. It's just gone on too long in his home Grand Prix. I think there's bound to be a bad step happen for Fernando Alonso eventually. I think. It's been too long, if that makes sense. He's been so close to the top step, but yet just couldn't get there. Because I think if he would have gotten pole today, he probably would have won. The way he could have been able to hold that Red Bull, they probably would have made better decisions on the tires. He wouldn't have gone on the hard tires for one lap, then he enters. But
I don't know. I still think Aston would have been convinced that the new medium was the right way to go. I don't think he would have won it.
all right,
I think they would have lost the pit stop. Anyways,
let's go to our crazy prediction. We're gonna go to our crazy prediction today. No, Ben, what is your crazy prediction for today's race? Or for next week's race?
next Sunday's race. I love having double headers because I can just make it and see if it comes true before I forget it. I'm gonna say we see Alpine in double points again and Mercedes in double points again. I don't think that's too far-fetched, but I think that the upgrade packages that both teams have brought will provide them enough of an advantage to score multiple sets of points.
Yeah, especially since you can't really see the full upgrade package and what it can bring, especially on the track like Monaco. But with a track like Imola, you could have seen that probably.
Yeah, I think the Mercedes definitely had more downforce than it did last year, though. It may have been hard to drive, but it improved.
All right, Noah, crazy prediction. What you got?
All right. So I got 2 for you. And as I think of
got a 2 for the people.
As I think of a celebrity to put in my second prediction, I'm going to go with 2 red flags. One near the start, one kind of near the end.
Okay.
Okay.
As for celebrities,
That's going to make for a 3-hour race. Goodness.
As for celebrities, it's his home race.
He's not dating Taylor Swift. We've already established that.
No, that is not. No, I need to have this in my life. T Swift will be at the Spanish Grand Prix to see her man, Alonso.
Oh, no. Nope.
She's dating Matty Healy of the
I don't know
1975.
who that is. So very clearly he does not exist.
I don't know about that, man. I don't know about that.
You see this right here? It's a horseshoe ring. All right? It's because I'm lucky.
It's also because you gamble.
Whoa. I make investments.
Allegedly.
I make investments.
Sorry, I've been led to believe that you gamble.
Hey, WSOP's coming up.
You've done.
All right, here we go.
You've done.
Here's my crazy. I'm winning the crazy prediction bracket right now. That's a fact. I'm winning the crazy predictions this year. You ready?
We've been waiting.
Son, don't mess your mic up.
Please don't spit in your mic. This is an ASMR video. Please just get it out of your mouth.
Logan or Nick are scoring points this week.
Somebody mute this man. He's a menace.
Oh my gosh.
Logan or Nick. Logan Sargent or Nick DeFreeze are scoring their first points this week. Dare me to say I think that both are going to score, but I'm not going to say that.
Okay.
One of them are going to score points, and then here's the second crazy prediction. I got a twofer for the people. Twofer for the people.
Sure.
Double points for Alfa Romeo.
No. Move on.
That's
Move on to the
that's
podium
impossible.
prediction, son. Jesus.
Impossible. That is impossible. That is okay. Think about it. You know what? This is crazy predictions. We don't have to think about it. But all I have to say is
think. It doesn't have to. It's provocative. Gets the people
all I
going.
have to say is everyone in the best of the rest. So Ferrari, Mercedes, Alpine, they all have to not finish in order for that to be
I
possible.
mean, who's to say Ferrari's gonna have two finishing races?
Whoa there, buddy. Don't say that.
Come on now.
Whoa there, buddy.
Come
Don't
on.
say that.
Ferrari hasn't DNF'd a race yet, so
Hasn't DNF'd a race yet, but it's coming.
it's. I mean, Leclerc's crashed in everything but the race, so we'll see.
All right, it is finally time for our podium predictions. We've had one of our longer shows. This has been about 50 minutes. We just talked legit. We've talked Monaco, and we've talked the track at Spain. Now we've talked the Spanish Grand Prix. So it's been kind of crazy. It's been a good show today. Let's wrap it up with the best of the rest. Ben, your top three for the Spanish Grand Prix next Sunday, June 4th.
All right, top three. Drum roll, please. Russell Alonso Verstappen.
Okay, so Russell P3,
It's
Alonso P2, and Verstappen P1. Noah, what you got?
All right. So first and foremost, P3.
Oh boy, here we go.
It's going to be Carlos Sainz. P2, Max Verstappen. Before I say
Ooh,
P1,
oh no.
I'd like to say a
gosh.
little fact. Fact.
Oh, don't do it.
Most
It's
wins.
It's not gonna happen.
Most wins for a constructor at the Spanish Grand Prix is Ferrari with 12.
No.
Therefore,
No.
Charles Leclerc is going to be your Spanish Grand Prix champion of the world.
You know what? I'm doing another crazy prediction. Charles Leclerc is the first DNF of the race.
Don't say that.
I'm calling it. I'm calling it right now. Hammer it, lock it in. That's what I'm calling it right now.
That's written in stone. You know what? We got to go with it. We got to go with it, boys.
Noah thinks he's gonna win. I think he's gonna DNF. So there we go. For me, here we go.
I just think he's going to finish fifth. I'm going to be honest.
Here we go. Ready, boys?
So
Ready.
don't do this.
I do it every week. Stop.
Warning
Shush.
head on your.
You be quiet in Triple H. Respect H Cobb.
Just pull him out. Just pull him out.
Here we go. I've been the most correct this year. Be quiet, Ben. That is a fact.
You've
Alonso
got-
P3. Alonso P3. Close P2 for Verstappen P1.
Dude, you said
It's
that Alonso
pretty
was finishing fifth as your crazy prediction.
No, I didn't.
You just contradicted yourself.
I never said he finished fifth. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, I did. Okay, rewrite that. Hold on.
You just contradicted yourself, Mr. Bright.
All right, we're rewriting this. Okay, right?
Prediction is more like Mr. Self-contradiction. Burn.
We're rewinding. We're rewinding the tape. We're rewinding the cassette tape.
Y'all hurry this up. I got pizza. Hold on. Come on.
Hamilton P3, Perez P2, Verstappen P1. I forgot I said Alonso finished below P5. I completely forgot. That is apologies to me. Apologies to me. I'm sorry, listeners. I completely forgot that. I got to stick with my original predictions. I'm sorry. I have to stick with my original predictions. I cannot contradict myself. So, Hamilton P3, Verstappen, Perez P2, Verstappen P1. Just the way Max Verstappen's racing right now, even though Imola was canceled this year, so there are 22 races on the F1 calendar this year. He'll probably break his record of 15 races this year. What do you guys think? Over or under 14.5 races won by Max Verstappen?
Over. I'm betting the over by 2.
Probably
When
did
over.
he-
But folks, we got to
When
wrap
does he
this up.
clinch? When does he clinch the drivers' championship by? Last question.
Las Vegas. 'Cause that's media, baby.
He won. He won by Japan last year. He won after Japan.
Script writers won it in Las Vegas. I'll go with that too.
You think he's gonna go to Las Vegas? It'll be later than it was last year.
He can't win 15 or he can't win 17 races and win Las Vegas. And win it by Las Vegas. So I'm gonna have to say that he wins it by Dallas.
Wins it by Dallas. I think away by Qatar.
Ooh.
So a little bit earlier than last year, even though there was one race less. So technically it'd be the same as last year. So we'd win the same amount of races. Potentially. So this be the same. Noah, what do you think? Or do you think someone else is going to win?
Don't ask me that. Like, I think someone else is going to win. I'm a realist,
You pick-
okay?
You pick Charles. You're a realist, but you pick Charles Leclerc in every race.
Yes, because I have a dream. I'm like Dusty Rhodes.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I don't know. Probably Austin.
Probably Austin. Okay. All right.
We gotta
That
go.
is going to do. That is going to do it for our show. Thank you for everyone for listening. It's been a longer show, but we've had a lot of fun. I love these summer shows with no commercial breaks, no everything. It's a great time. We just get to talk with the boys, no interruptions, no
We get to see all
time
of these
restraints.
throw pillows.
We
We
talk
love
great.
throw
We'll be
pillows.
back next weekend. Hopefully, we'll be able to have an earlier show that all these holidays are done with and everything now with all these stuff. My brother's graduation was on Friday, graduation party tonight. So hopefully, we'll be able to do earlier shows on Sunday of next week. But until next week, if you guys missed any of today's show, you can check it out on your favorite podcast platform later on once Noah down there at the Harvard College of Business gets it wrapped up and submitted to Transistor. But until next week, for Ben McClurkin and Noah Phillips, I'm Greg Blankenberg. This has been Smooth Operators on Weagle 91.1 FM. Thank you for listening, everyone. Have a great Memorial Day week for everyone, and War Eagle.